I am a Baggins of Bag End.
Morning.
Good morning.
When you're dealing with a huge, long movie, 266 days of shooting, you've got to be as prepared as you possibly can. We had sets built, we rehearsed, we had actors coming in, we blocked.
Dweller, at your service.
I had Andrew Lesney, our DP, there.
That was very good, this. Any more?
We planned the camera angles.
Might want to be getting this fixed.
Oh. Hello, Gandalf.
Ori down next to Bomba, Dory, and then Nori.
I really worried that we weren't going to fit. Seriously. When we went in there in rehearsal, out of costume, we could barely fit.
It's a dark and dangerous place, rank with festering evil.
Rumours began to spread. The dragon smell has not been seen for 60 years. Is he gone? Is he dead? Or is he really sleeping?
Yep.
God, this is going to be crowded.
It's going to be hot.
I'm already hot.
We had this period of a few days where we could actually get our act together, but, you know, it was for like the first 2 weeks of the shoot. The first 10 days of the shoot. After that, we had no preparation at all. That's the weird thing about movie making. You get hugely prepared for that first week or two, and then you kind of just wing it after that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Greg.
Come, look at the freak show.
I remember the first person I filmed in there with was Graham McTavish, who plays Dwalin.
And when you rub his thighs, they're particularly strong.
And yeah, it was nice. It was quite relaxed, actually. It was quite relaxed. I love scenes where there's fewer people around, because I get more screen time. Shoot me.
I was very sort of pathetically proud of that moment.
Ready now, and action.
When the door opened for the first time and there was a dwarf.
Dweller, at your service.
First shot on me.
Yes, yes. That was probably what Pete was rightfully mindful of, was like what happens when there's the explosion of pent-up energy in a small space.
Bring me another dwarf.
Lots of men, lots of testosterone, all acting the hell out of each other, you know what I mean?
I want another dwarf here right now.
Very good. Well, you look great, Matt. And thanks very much. You can go back now. Ori, old bean.
Hello, Eden.
I was just like, oh my gosh, this is my first day on set, and it's in Back End.
Looking very good. We're gonna plug a dwarf in here. We've got a lovely little socket for a dwarf.
Action.
The constant factor of being Gandalf in the film is that you have to be taller than most of the other characters, certainly than the dwarves or the hobbits. Now, this was achieved on Lord of the Rings by putting me, the larger character, closer to the camera.
Your eye tricks your brain, and you kind of think that these two people are side by side. Now, of course, that trick is no good when you're dealing with 3D, because 3D tells you exactly how far away they are, and you can see that the whole thing's a big cheat.
So we had to devise a different way of creating this size difference. Since we have dwarves and Gandalf, who are actually the same height, we need to make Gandalf 25% bigger than the dwarves so that they're in the correct scale. The only way we can make a person bigger is to put the camera closer to him. So effectively, we have a camera that looks at the dwarves and Bilbo in a set that's built to their scale, and a camera that looks at Gandalf on a green screen, which is 25% closer, which makes him that much bigger. Now, these cameras are locked together so that whatever one camera does over here on the live set with Bilbo and the dwarves, the other camera on the green set does exactly the same thing, except scaled down. So effectively, you are creating two different worlds that are in different scale, but they're matched in terms of position. So that when we take out the green screen, make a composite, and put Gandalf in, suddenly he's 25% bigger.
A little glass of red wine is requested.
This slave motion control system we'd been developing for a couple of months leading into our shoot, and there was a couple of days of test shooting, which we wanted to do as a proof of concept for ourselves, and also, you know, something that we could show the actors so they could actually have some confidence that this rather bizarre system was going to end up working.
Gandalf,
great to be back.
It's good to see you. Have a look around.
Oh, you've been busy.
I have. You're
Gosh.
right, I have. I'll show you.
Marvellous.
Hey, Gandalf, this is Philly. Philly's staying with me for a couple of days.
Yeah, I get a bit lonely, you see.
Yeah, I understand.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh. Cheers. All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers.
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 Whose table is Gandalf's left hand on?
So Gandalf's on the green screen, and all the props are scaled down. So he's on a slightly...
His hand is on there, oh dear.
I didn't know where your stroke was.
I didn't even know where you were. I couldn't see anything.
We did a series of tests and demonstrations to show to Peter where one of our crew guys would walk in, let's say, carrying an apple, and he would hand it to the other guy, and then the other guy would go and get a basket, and he'd bring it over and give it to the first guy. So essentially, we were handing things off across the scale line. And those were just done very roughly, just to demonstrate the process.
Okay, here we go. Rehearsal.
We rehearsed in costume and makeup with the 13 dwarves.
All right. Does that make sense? You're looking a little bit bewildered.
I'm over there, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
Thanks for filling me in.
Yes. Okay.
I then had to leave them for the filming and go into a set that was smaller than this set, in which I would look tall.
The problems for us were that they can't hear each other from that distance away, so they had to work off earpieces. He would wear an earpiece and he would hear the dwarves and Bilbo on the Hobbit set and vice versa.
As soon as you hear him saying Mark, there's no Mark at the door, and you'll have an earpiece, so you'll take your cue off Martin and then you close it.
So if someone has to get up and walk somewhere, they tend to do it off a dialogue cue.
There's no mark on my door, but
There's a mark.
So if the sound didn't work, the shot didn't work.
Is it going to work, Colin?
Oh, that's a silly hope, though.
Wouldn't have found it at all had it not been for that mark on the door.
Mark, there's no mark on that door. It was painted a week ago.
There is a mark. I had put it there myself.
And that means immediately on the monitors, we are interacting with Gandalf as a much bigger person and at precisely the same time. And that has actually never been done before like that.
Well, that's all very well, and it looks very good, but when you're actually doing it, it means that you, the Gandalf actor, are on your own when you're filming. You can't see the faces of the other actors you're working with, who can all see each other in the adjacent set.
Well, this is not what they promised when they
It's hard for Ian. Ian has a lot, because a lot of his acting is on the green screen. He was coming in to see all these dwarves whittling around him and running everywhere and taking food, and he had to name all the dwarves.
Oh, no, Nori.
Not my prize winners.
Ori!
We get to the end of it, and we've all got earpieces on, and we can hear Pete go, "That's almost it. But Adam, you went through Gandalf with your arm." And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm sorry, let's do it again."
It's about time. Okay, very good.
It was very tricky, and it took a long time.
Little red wine, I think, for me.
Cut!
Finally, Pete comes over the cans going, I think we got it. And everyone's like, yes, thank goodness, we've done it.
We did it!
Rusticate and bit bother these dwarves.
Dear Bilbo, what's the matter?
The main problem with Ian was that he's a big guy on a little set. When you're lighting him, you have to light him exactly the same way for both sets. If he's walking from one part of a set to another, you've actually got to put shadows in areas where there should be shadows, because he has actually got to be real-time matched with the other people he's interacting with.
But what should I do with my plate?
And also we had to give him the correct eye lines. So we gave the AD a dimmer board where they could switch lights on and off, so Ian could actually see who he was talking to on the other set.
What you should have is you should only have their eyes glowing. It's like Thunderbirds are going, Thunderbird.
And they were all put in at the right ratio position and the right ratio height, so his eye lines were correct to the other set.
Now I understand. That's why we need a burglar.
Oh, yeah. Good one, too. An expert, I'd have thought.
And are you?
And you might think, acting to a tennis ball, what the difference if you know where it is, but suddenly that person doesn't react, or that tennis ball doesn't smile, or doesn't do anything. It means what you do is affected by that. So you kind of need to have a pre-planned idea, the way you're going to say things and the way you're going to receive dialogue from people, and that's quite difficult.
Now, the answer lies somewhere hidden in this map. I do not have the skill to read it, but there are others in Middle-earth who do.
For me, that's the most difficult thing, because I really like to be able to look into the character's eyes that I'm talking to. It puts much more importance on the rehearsal, because you have to give the rehearsal everything as if it's a performance, because what you're doing is that you're programming their memory to what they'll be getting when we come for a take.
Yes, thank you. I was saying, Botha, the task I have in mind will require a great deal I got absolutely miserable and had a little cry to myself. I didn't realise that the microphone I was wearing was open so everybody could hear me muttering to myself about how I wanted to go home and so on.
You ready? To put someone in what is, it's not even sensory deprivation, it's like sensory torture, maybe, too strong a word, but for some actors it looked like torture to put them in that situation, and then to ask for those natural acting instincts to just be there, and the expectation of actors upon themselves is, well, this is my job, I should be able to do this.
Yeah, for Ian especially, he found it particularly challenging at the start.
I'm sorry, everybody.
No, sorry. It's possibly difficult.
When I say sorry, I mean sorry. It was so distressing and off-putting and difficult that I thought, I don't want to make this film if this is what I'm going to have to do. It's not what I do for a living. I act with other people. I don't act on my own.
I can't just get it.
He truly had such a miserable time on the first day or two of the shoot. We felt sorry for him, being just dumped in green screen land. And we wanted to make him feel a little bit better. We wanted to make him feel loved. So Zane Wiener, our producer, had a great idea of giving Martin and Ian a surprise.
We should do something special for Ian. How about, do you think we could sort of do up his little tent where he relaxes?
We knew about it the day before, I think, because this was a surprise. We'll wait until the crew had finished for the day to go in and dress these things.
Actors have all gone, and they're just moving Ian's tents, so they'll be side by side, which will actually make it funny.
And this Melbourne fabric on this lazy boy would be gorgeous. It was kind of obvious to us what we should be doing for Ian. He was making his return to Middle-earth, and it had to have a bit of a Middle-earth theme. Beautiful relic from the Lothlorien group of elves. Definitely Ian McKellen. God, this is Owen's curtain. Is it? God, stop it. Yes. Is it? It's okay. For Martin, we dressed up his room in a kind of 60s eclectic mix of stuff. It was a little bit retro. I discovered that Martin was quite into his music. The Commodores, Diana, a little bit of Stevie Wonder. Awesome. If I had a place to chill, and then this would be my music.
Well, that night I felt pretty miserable and thought perhaps has the time come for me to stop acting altogether if I can't cope with these difficulties.
Ian emailed me a couple of days into this Bag End stuff, and he just says, listen, I'm struggling. I feel really depressed. It was quite a sad email, and I'd actually kind of already written him an email.
Which crossed with one from him saying, don't worry, it was all fine today. We've got some good stuff. You'll be very pleased with it.
I'm seeing this scene come together really great, and I just wanted Ian to know that it was all okay. Everything was going to be fine.
It's lovely to have you back, and well done. Me having felt that I'd absolutely failed.
Hobbits, I guess we could leave them set up like this the whole time they're back in.
Yeah. Oh, who's done all this? Who's done all this? Oh, beautiful. Who does this?
It's an appreciate Gandalf day today. and we do appreciate it.
As another, not pat on the back, but arm round the shoulder, in my little makeup tent. It had all been decorated with bits of old scenery from Rivendell. Look, and fruit. Oh, just gorgeous. Well, you're all very, very welcome to come and visit.
He stepped into his tent and he was sort of into this really weird retro 1960s world.
I love that. That's very good. That'll be a little Mark Appreciation Day today.
Oh, really?
Beautiful.
I'm back.
And you've learnt your lines?
Well, we'll see about
that.
And I was made to feel, as so often happens when you're working with Peter Jackson and his colleagues, that you belong, and I want you to feel at ease and happy and at home. However, once the flowers faded, I noted they weren't replaced. I think I was meant then to get on with the job.
Like 20 on the plane, and then we'll shoot.
13, including Bilbo and Gandalf, were cramped around the dining room table, and the Bag End set is quite small anyway.
You can do the newsreader thing where you don't have to wear your trousers or boots for the scene.
So underneath we had fans blowing up our bottoms. Don't think Mark Hadlow had any trousers on underneath the table.
To work in the space was hot, uncomfortable, and a little bit perspiry.
Sorry, Chris. Oh, hot.
We were told it was going to be hot, it was going to be crammed and difficult.
Oh, dear.
It was very cramped.
We have electrolytes standing by, we have water, we're constantly having to drink loads of water, loads of electrolytes.
A Bag End was a bit of an oven at times.
Give us a blast down.
We were lucky enough to step out, and the whole team of people that are devoted to our comfort, and making sure we have water and cool air blown on us, helped us get through.
Nice and quiet though, thanks, and
Shooting. Ian was the very first actor that I worked with as a second unit director. The very first shot, in fact, of the second unit was Gandalf's eye appearing at the window at Bag End, which was an incredibly technically difficult shot because it was a beveled window, and the precision with which we needed to kind of execute the shot and the positioning of his eye, you know, for it to read. To your right. Stop.
Oh, bugger.
And out.
It's great having second unit with us filming finally. It was their first real day of shooting today. But of course, what happens if you're on the same stage is they have to stop every time we're starting. The main unit gets priority.
So we've had to down tools to stop while shooting's been going on, or turn over very quietly. Just reset. Do roll.
Why are you whispering, Dan?
Cut. Lovely. That's excellent. We've got that. Okay.
Here we go now.
No, I mean, it was great, because Pete was able to then come over and chat, and it's just fantastic to have his input.
Well, I think it's quite good to see that there's a nail on it, because then you get, and then when Bilbo hears a scratch, it's like you sort of know.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah, no, it's that's great. That is the best thing about being 15 feet away from the director, basically. But I think it might be the first and last time.
Most of the time, with the idea with second unit is you don't actually share the same stage. You shoot on different stages, and so that won't be a problem. Like tomorrow, they're in Bag End, and we're out of Bag End. So we've been in here for, I don't know, how long is it? About 12 days or something?
Bend the fork, smash the bottles, burn the corks, skip the glass and crack the plate. That's what I'm
13, 14 days? I don't know. It seems like a long time.
It's fun. I like Bag End.
Dump the crotch in a boiling bowl. Fill them up with a thumping roll. When you finish the
And some feet ones.
Yeah, there's juggling. Yeah, and I think the more chaotic it got, the more Peter liked it in the end.
That's what Bilbo Baggins
And cut.
Right.
Just a little lighting tweak, enough to make Caro weep. Put the schedule right to sleep.
That's what Carly Nam hates.
That is the truth, Aunt Carol.
That's lovely.
So after Pete had finished shooting a lot of the early scenes in Bag End, then we moved in, and it was really lovely being able to work with them and for them to individually get a chance to really work on their character.
And action!
And just experiment and play around and have fun, actually. We had a lot of fun.
Being given a free hand by the director was wonderful.
And salute Bilbo, or go cheers.
We really went for it. I was pouring beer down John Callan's ear trumpet.
I thought, crikey, what am I going to do with that? So I just blew into the end that fits in my ear, and out comes all the liquid.
You know, it's what I spent most of my teens doing, so I have plenty of training for it.
Probably the most memorable moment is Bomber crawling along the table to grab the big mutton hock and pull it down the table.
Stephen Hunter is an animal.
He's joking! He's joking! Take your shit! Oh, great hard one, Norrie!
He's so enthusiastic. He's so up for anything.
It was truly worrying.
And I had to throw this egg and have it land in Bomber's mouth. First egg we threw. Nailed it. Couldn't hit it again after that.
I think one night I must have eaten about 13 boiled eggs. Because I chose to actually eat them properly on the first take. And then after that, I really just had to roll with it.
Just stuffing them in his face. I mean, it was literally like recreating Cool Hand Luke in Bag End.
I had basically 2 half of eggs in my mouth. And then Andy goes, now put a whole one in.
If you put a whole egg in your mouth, just put a whole egg in your mouth.
And luckily, about 3 takes later, he said cut. And I fronted up like 2 days later. I had eggs for breakfast, so you know, it's like no worries.
They set up the scene in Bag End with the food, and it looks amazing, and everything is in place, and it looks really delicious.
Fresh thing of food at least 7 or 8 times on that table.
And we're just told, okay, listen, just wreck it.
And it would just get destroyed.
We trashed the place, good God, on a daily basis.
Towards the end, he just said, just go nuts. And it was chaotic, because that's what it's like. We're just, you know, just a pack of rowdy boys, really. We love to eat, but then when we're full, there's just food for
I was aiming for Kent Stop. Because he couldn't take it. The dude can't handle an orange to the head. Hit him with it. Leg a lamb when he's not looking. I mean, vicious stuff. Nothing playful about this at all. I mean, I never told him this. Surely he's going to hear about it now, but I was hitting him hard. I think I nearly took his nose off.
Yeah. Goodness sake. That dining table was kind of pretty rank, actually. It was kind of filled with the smell of 13 dwarves pretty quick.
Ian's been on beans all lunch, so he should have some pretty good wind to
The wizard's wind is not to be scoffed at.
Looking back on Bag End, it's like we're just so innocent. We were all so happy as characters in that place, about to begin this journey, and that's absolutely how it was for the actors as well as the characters.
Yeah, thank you, Dory.
Yes,
thank you, Doris.
Doris.
Now, Bag End was a good laugh, actually. It was a really good laugh, because we were all there together. And whatever nerves people had, I think they kind of just worked themselves out. We were all just, okay, great, we've started work now.
More Hobbit gold. Some of my best work, that's some of my exquisite work.